Pretties, welcome to Mr. Row. So today I have a tag video and it's kind of like an updated tag. I think I've done this one before, which is just that if I could only keep one tag, and I figured we could do it, get rid of me with me style, so I can tell you guys as I go along why I like these so much. Also, while we're here in the topic, let's talk about how this video is not my makeup inventory. I'm lazy. That's really it. I'm lazy. So, all right, now that's been discussed. I'm using my Milani eye primer. Oh gosh, Gaia, we literally just got started and you're already making so much noise. Why? Talk to us about it. What's bothering you? I don't see any dogs outside that you want to play with. Do you see a squirrel? Is that what it is? Like, what's going on? All right. Anyway, I'm having my Milani eye primer. I've tried a couple of different eye primers in the past that I just haven't liked as much. I think this one's affordable and does a good job. It doesn't have a lot of tint. I know that's like a thing for some people, like you want to have tint to yours. I don't. Gaia, my goodness. But anyway, I just think it does a good job. I think it's only $10 if I'm not mistaken, and it does a good job. It like adheres. It's not too thick or anything. For primer, all right, give me a second. Okay, I've threatened her to get down if she's not gonna be quiet, and she settled down immediately. Never mind. She has to get down. Hold on. Okay, so for primer, I have my e.l.f. putty primer. I don't particularly think I need primer because I have really high, not high, I have really moisturizing skincare routine in the morning, so I don't particularly think I need this step per se, but I do have slight, like my pores are not too big, but right here they are slightly noticeable, and I feel like that primer does a good job of you know, kind of settling down a little bit. And if I do need a little extra moisture, I have my other primer that's more like a hydrating primer. Again, I don't particularly think I need it, but if I could only keep one, I'll probably keep the one from e.l.f., the putty primer, because again, it does a good job of like doing this. And my skin does not need to, like, I don't need a gripping primer because my skin is so dry that it grips everything to it. So that's just not something I have to worry about. All right, so for eyeshadow palette, I don't think it'll be any surprise for anybody. I picked the So Jaded, and I think I chose this one last time as well. You can literally do anything you want with this palette. If you want something more cool tone, a little more green, blues, purples, pinks, mauves. Actually, maybe you can do pink. You can definitely do mauve though. I swear to God, Athena, I swear to God. So I'm gonna go with a Geodude because since I have like this like dirty green kind of olive tone, I kind of want to do a green eye look, but something that's a little bit more neutral. So Geo is gonna be the one for us today. Okay, that's a color. It has a really interesting undertone. It's like a, I don't know, it has like a yellowy green undertone, but it's still like neutral shade. It's quite interesting. I enjoy it. Anyway, I really like the So Jaded palette. It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. I think the last 2 years I ranked it as my #1 palette in my entire collection. I really like it. I think you have a lot of variety. I did get rid of the glitters. Gaia! I did get rid of the glitters just because that's not my thing. I gave them to my sister and she seems to like glitter, I guess. Just because she likes to do like Instagram modeling sometimes. So there's that. My sister likes that. So sure, I was like, you can have them. I'm not gonna use them. What I will say though is if this palette, like if I were to keep it, I probably would add some shades to it. Like, stop! You're being annoying, Gaia. You're cool now? Okay. I guess she's cool now. Gaia, you're testing my patience. You really are testing my patience. Oh gosh. Okay. So what I was saying is I'll probably add some shades to it. Obviously, I think it needs a pink. Because I just realized it doesn't have it. It has a lot of really cool mauve shades. But I think it's missing a pink. I think it's missing like a dark color, like because it has that one shade like Onyx, which is really cool, but I think it's missing something that's a little more black toned, or Onyx a little more blue. Okay, and I'm just gonna grab, stop. I'm just gonna have this green shade. I found it that it's easier to grab matte shadows and put them like on the very lid with my finger. Am I the only one that's been doing this recently? And then just grab with a brush to do the actual blending and outskirts of it, but just to like place it on the lid. I found my finger does a good job. Am I the only one doing this? I'm just curious if any of you guys are doing this as well. Also, I've been thinking about joining another project pan, like one more, but I'm not sure what to do. I know for sure I'm going to be joining the graveyard project pan like I have the last couple of years. I think that's a really good project pan, and it's easy. It's only 6 months, so it doesn't feel overwhelming. We lost one and we got another. This one's Athena. I think Athena hasn't made an appearance in my channel for a little while, but this is Athena, and the bark that you just heard, that's Zeus. My children. Oh gosh, no, they're gonna start fighting. Okay, it actually didn't take me that long to get the puppies to settle down, but then they're picking up the trash. Today's trash day, and yeah, that happened. I'm pretty sure you guys can still hear it a little bit. Anyway, for color corrector, I have my Sigma Beauty one. If I'm being honest, I actually still prefer the one from Cover FX over this one. However, it seems like that one is getting discontinued, and I find that this is a good second. Like, it does a really good job of like concealing or color correcting my under eyes, which, as you guys know, it's something that's a real big issue for me. I just, even though they are lightweight in the under eye and it's not too thick in the under eye, like once it's applied, it is actually quite thick because it's like a jelly. I don't know, it's kind of a weird formula, and I have a hard time like applying it. So, but once it's on, I think it does a good job. So that's what that looks like. So big difference from before to now. I'm sure you guys can tell. Gaia, what is your deal today, Mama? What's going on? Tell us all about it. All right, if I could only keep one product for my face, I think I would go with my Pretty Fresh. Although it's not necessarily my favorite tinted moisturizer, I think I like the one from Rare Beauty a little bit more. The real difference, I think, is just this one's, I find it easier to apply because it has a pump versus the one from Rare Beauty because, well, it doesn't have a pump. So I just have to like, I feel like the amount of product that I use on it from one day to the other, it's really all over the place. I also feel like the one from Fenty has slightly less coverage, which I don't particularly mind, but it's also a better skin match for me. I think this one might be a little more yellow tone, just because I have a really interesting skin tone undertone. I'm definitely a neutral, not a yellow like warm tone, but I have all little undertones, so some neutral shades can look gray on me because I do have like I said, those olive undertones. But then some warm tones you look very yellow on me. I can, depending on whatever it is, I can probably get away with it. But like this one, it's technically a little more yellow tone. I'm sure you guys noticed when I first applied it, but because it's a tinted moisturizer, it doesn't have too much coverage, I can get away with it. And it's just the undertone just lightly off, but it's still a good shade match. Like I said, I do think the one from Rare Beauty is less yellow. I think that one's actually a neutral shade, if I'm not mistaken. But I think for ease of use, I think this would be easier to just have it on it like every day. So there's that. All right. Concealer. Actually, should I do concealer next? No, I'm gonna do bronzer. So I have my cream and powder bronzes all in one section, and I'm gonna choose the one from Rare Beauty, which is honestly a shocker to me. But that's because this one's just easier to apply than my Soul Beauty. I actually think I like the Soul Beauty slightly more. I think I like the undertones a little bit better, but not from the one that I own, but the shade down from that. I think I like the undertones of that one better. It's just that it's so much easier to apply it to use every day, a stick, formula than it would be to have the tub and then you have to like take it out and use another brush. And I just think that if I can only have one and then go in for practicality, I think it'll be easier to just have the Rare Beauty one, which is a stick form. I think the Milk one's really nice too. I like the undertones of the Milk one better, but I like the formula of the Rare Beauty a lot more. This is such a nice formula. Look at that. It just blends so easily, so naturally. You can never really over apply. Kaya, I'm really not sure what her problem is today. But anyway, I really like this one. This kind of blending the edges. For concealer, I was going back and forth because I really thought for a minute, I'm like, maybe I'll go with the Kosas one because I do like the formula. It's of that one more than I like the one from Milani. But I think the one from Milani just has more coverage. And if your dark circles look the way my dark circles look, you want more coverage. So there's that. The reason I got the Milani one was because I was told that it was going to be a really nice creamy formula, which it is, and that it had like really high coverage. Like I feel like everyone online is always saying like how high coverage the one from Kosas is, but I think the Milani one has more coverage than that one. So I'm just gonna put that out there. It's just the Milani one is thicker and it's harder to blend out. But if I can only have one, I gotta cover these suckers up. So, you know, I also feel like I don't have the right undertones for the Milani one, but they don't have a huge range. I don't think I have too many options. Oh gosh. All right, that's my alarm. The hurry the fuck up bitch alarm. If you've been in my channel, you've heard it before. All right, so for highlighter, I think last time I had the Opal highlighter from Becca, and that's still my favorite powder highlighter, but I recently discovered liquid highlighters, and I really like this one from Rare Beauty. Granted, I only have 2 liquid highlighters, but I've just found myself really enjoying liquid highlighters. I think they look a lot more natural, just because I don't like super reflective highlighters. I just want like a slight sheen of them, you know? And this ones do a great job. They just look pretty natural. I will say, I kind of wish I also owned a more neutral shade. I do have a more neutral shade from SheGlam, the SheGlam one. But I can only pick one. Then I'm going to pick the one from Rare Beauty because I like the formula better. And I prefer pinky highlighters more. Granted, this one doesn't go well with this look. But once I put blush, I don't think it'll be that noticeable. And I do need to kind of blend it out with my sponge a little bit as well. Oh Lord, here we go. We have a visitor again. She's so cute. All right, so I just gotta finish blending my under eyes. I do leave the center because I want them to be as dry as, I want to get as much coverage as I can. And if you let them kind of stand for a little longer, you can get a little more coverage. So I'll take it. And I know that it looks very light, but I have found out is that it oxidizes with powder. I have my e.l.f. powder. Like if I can only keep one, I'll keep my e.l.f. powder. I really enjoy my No. 7 powder as well, but it's not very good at setting product. And what I find is that it does crease throughout the day if I only use that powder under my eyes. And that's the main reason I use powder, is just for my under eyes. And then just the tiniest little bit of excess that I have, I will kind of just pat it everywhere. That's not really a lot. But you see, once I kind of powder it down, it's not as stark white as it does look on this side. So there's that. Okay. Anyway, I really like this powder because I recently tried the Laura Mercier one because I got it as a free gift with purchase. I got 3 samples from Sephora. And you know, I feel like Laura Mercier, everyone talks about that powder like it's the end all be all of all powders, and I'm just gonna be honest, I fucking hate that powder. It's awful. It is thick as hell. It makes me look like I have pores that I didn't even know I had. It doesn't blend well with my primer. It doesn't blend well with my powder foundation. It doesn't blend well with anything. I really do not like that powder. So no, I wouldn't recommend it. I think it's awful. I am finishing one of those highlighters as a bronzer recently. I just hated it. Hated it, hated it, hated it. I need to finish my under eyes and then I'll be back for mascara. Okay. I applied my mascara and my eyeliner off screen because it freaks me out to see other people do it, so I don't like doing it on camera because it like just freaks me out. But for eyeliner, I have my Honeydew. I just like a cream, like a neutral tone. I think it just makes your eyes pop a little bit more. And then for mascara, if I could only keep one, I would actually be the Lash Princess, but it would be the Curl and Volume. However, I haven't opened this one, so I have the regular Lash Princess mascara, the green tube one. But if I couldn't keep one, I would keep this one. So just FYI. I just wanted to make that distinction. For blush, if I could have one, it would be this one from ColourPop. It's in the shade Construct, and it doesn't have to be particularly this formula because I have another blush. I think it's in my Lunar Beauty. Yes, it's in my Moon Prism. There you go. Palette from Lunar Beauty, and it has a very similar tone blush to this one. I just really like this like reddish neutral tones blushes. Kaya, stop. However, I think last time I actually chose a blush palette. I decided against it this time because I was like, I feel like that's kind of cheating. You're technically getting like however many blushes are in that blush palette. So I decided if I can only have one single blush, this is probably the one that I would go with. I just think it's very pretty. I will say though, I think I need to try to pan this blush this year. I was gonna wait till next year to do it, but the formula's changed a little bit. It's not as pigmented as it used to be. And I'm sure you're like, what are you talking about? You look crazy right now. It used to be like really pigmented. I had to be crazy careful with this blush. And now I don't have to. And it also, I've noticed, starts fading a little bit throughout the day, which before it never did. Oh, I thought I had something in my eye. Scary. Okay, but no, I'm good. So there's that. For setting spray, I really only have one. I have owned a couple in the past. I like this one. Just because for setting spray, I'm not particularly trying to lock my product in. I'm just trying to melt my product so it looks a little more natural. I'm almost out. So this one's the one from ColourPop. This is the only brow product I've ever owned, so I have nothing to compare it to. And it has the slightest tint, but it's really just about wanting to hold my eyebrows in place. And I will say it does not do the greatest job. Stop, Gaia! It does not do the greatest job at that. But I also don't like crunchy eyebrows. So I'm content with this one. It does an okay job. Gaia! If you ever thought about getting a husky, just know that this is a regular occurrence. She's a talker. And most huskies are. So I just want to put that out there. Now lip products. That's the real hard one for me. Okay, if I could only keep one the product, it'll have to be a tinted lip balm. I just love lip balms. This is the shade Cherry Picking. It's because it's a little bit darker. It's definitely neutral, but it has like a slight warm undertone to it. So anyway, this is a finished look with if I could only keep one product. Some of them are not necessarily my favorite products. I just think they're the ones that make the most sense if I'm going to use them on a day-to-day. Mama! What? Jesus. Alright, I gotta let you guys go. I gotta work. Have a good one. Bye, guys.